Hello, hello, and welcome everybody to another Starcraft 2 broadcast. My name is Zanaris. Today we're here watching a 1 versus 1 on the map Tal'Darim Altar featuring Satiini spawning as the Red Terran down in the bottom right position against his Protoss opponent KroLu. Now KroLu is kind of an up-and-coming player in the Starcraft 2 community. He's actually scored a number of key wins in the SK Gaming's Champion Trophy tournament. I've actually got a few games that I can cast. If you guys like this one, I can just let me know in the comments section down below that you do, and I'll see if I can scrounge them up. They are from patch 1.2. Holding my finger up all Dr. Evil-like. But that pretty much just means you won't have this cool snazzy little bar at the top. Maybe I'd actually just, I don't know, put one in with Earth and View or something. I don't know, but we'll just continue on here with the game. Now, Satiini a little bit more well-established in the StarCraft 2 community. You can actually find links for both players, any key information I find down in the video description below. Now, these guys are spawning very far away from each other, and I'll just give a quick layout of the map. You can see here's the Terran player. We use this as the basis for our map analysis. Map's pretty big. You see, you got the main base area right there. There's no ramp right here, but there is a nice little choke to little plateaus. This one have little bushes on it. A little happy little bush there, and an expansion immediately outside of your main, which leads to a little open area. Got a ramp right there. You can see the ramp is actually pretty wide. Keep that in mind when you're trying to defend it. Now there is another expansion over here. Now this is different from the map on the Korean server, actually, because this has a set of destructible rocks over here, but also has a full 8 mineral patches, whereas I think the one on the Korean server only has no rocks, 1 gas, and 6 or 5 minerals right there. So, just a little interesting thing to keep in mind. Over here, you can see the expansion. This is kind of a little bit out of the way for the Terran player. Let's actually look down here. This is going to be the third and final immediately accessible base for him. You can see, again, full 8 minerals, 2 geysers, but it's not immediately accessible by land from the Terran base. He will have to run all the way around, going somewhat the path of this SCV right here. Now, there is a probe coming over here. We're going to be scouting out the Terran player. He will see, oh, sure enough, Satiini going with that early expansion. A little bit of a delayed barracks there. And looking over here at the Protoss, you can see his gateway is already finished. He's working on that second geyser and going with a pretty standard opener. He can transition into, 3-gate expand, 3-gate robo, 2-gate robo expand, anything of that sort. I'm throwing expand in there because I'm anticipating the positions being where they are for these players. You're very likely to have a game that's going to be rather macro-oriented. Of course, the Protoss player, traveled down here now, sees the expansion. He knows that he's not going to be facing any sort of immediate pressure. SCV, meanwhile, I don't think he's actually scouted the Protoss just yet. No, it looks like he will be finding him in just a matter of moments where he will see, okay, he hasn't expanded yet. It might face a little bit of pressure here. Maybe a bunker here is a good idea. Sure enough, there he goes right there, already done, in anticipation of exactly what we're seeing here. Obviously, a bunker, never really a bad investment. I mean, you can get your money back on it at any time. So, a good thing to have, especially in the early game here. When you've got this expansion, pretty hard to defend. Now, one thing that's interesting about this ramp is you can't actually get a surround at the bottom of the ramp like you can on a lot of other maps, where you'll have the ramp a little bit smaller, but you'll have this terrain here gone. You can have, say, stalkers completely surrounding it. So that is working in the favor of the Terran player. Also, something that both players are going to have to be concerned about, the natural expansion. You can see right here, there is a cliff area leading down to a wide open central portion of the map. This means Protoss can be vulnerable to siege tank fire in the natural, extending all the way up to pretty much right here. I'm sorry, right here. I gotta get that extra mineral patch in there because I am just, I don't know, weird like that. And anyways, Colossi down here, they can also be a little bit of a problem, but not as much. I mean, you got 9 range as opposed to, I think it's like 13 for the siege tank. Just ridiculously long range on that thing. So there's the second bunker going down, a little bit ahead of the first. Probably just recycle it and bring those Marines up there. It's going to kind of depend on what he's thinking right now. The Terran player is probably thinking, alright, I've scouted him out, he's got that expansion, I'm going to be sitting in a decent position, at least for a little while. He knows he's ahead in terms of the economy right now. We can actually see that. 29 to 27. Look at that. Having the 2 mules there, you can see, plus he's only working on 1 gas, means a lot more SCVs are going to be getting the minerals. Now, the Protoss player, on the other hand, he is working with 3 geysers, Now that's going to help him tech up a good bit here. We can see he's going to go ahead and drop down some additional gateways for a total of 5. Looks like he's a little bit late in the turn those in the warp gate there, but not actually that big of a deal, just a second or two late. I think they just finished just before I actually flipped the camera over there. We see he's got 3 sentries. Alright, that's good enough. He's going to be able to drop down some force fields and delay an attack. He's also got the proxy pylon, or not the proxy pylon, but the pylon here at the top. It's going to give him vision of anything that happens to be coming from the ramp down below, and also, you know, give him the ability to warp in forces behind, say, an attack, pushing up the ramp there. Couple sentries are going to be heading out, probably going to try a little bit of an attack. I don't know how well this is going to work. The sentries are going to be great for force fields. Got the heavy bunker placement right here. We can actually see, has he scouted that? No, he has not. But he's anticipating some kind of defenses. I do like how Satiini is keeping the Marine Hound down here. The pylon just out of range. Look at that right there. So very close. Neither player knows that the other is right there. But, sure enough, there we go. Satiini with the Marine earned its keep right there, even though it's going to live a very short life. SCV is going to be coming over here trying to repair. This is where those sentries are going to come into play. Guardian Shield and Force Fields blocking off repairing from the front, too. This means the Protoss will be able to take out 1, possibly 2, and 3 of these things. But you see, he's actually suffered a little bit of the losses in the way of the sentries there. Not something you would be losing too early here. Very gas-intensive units. We're seeing that the SCVs are still just kind of running around here, not trying to repair this one. There we go, finally. They could have run back around and repaired it from this side. Could have at least partially surrounded it. But you're seeing Satiini was able to hold the line, and ultimately that's what counts here. Protoss not quite able to bust through. He realized that he was behind a little tiny bit, so he wanted to come in here and try to bust through and punish the Terran for getting that expansion as early as he did. However, Protoss realizes at this point it didn't quite work out the way expected. He may actually be able to snipe this bunker, take out the SCV. Sure enough, there we go. Satiini realizes that's going to happen and just cancels it outright. Missile turret going down as well here. Very close, 4 hit points and dead. There goes the factory here. Probably going to be using this factory to scout. Now, I really like what Satiini is doing here. He's got this command center tucked way away from his 3rd base. He realizes, all right, well, I'm under a lot of pressure here, so if I can get an expansion up safe and sound, I'll be in a great position moving forward into the mid to late game while facing this pressure here at my main. All he has to do is spend enough money to keep this alive and continue building units, hold off the attack while the Protoss continues to send those gateway forces at his main, and he should be good. Now, KroLu, meanwhile, has taken this opportunity, going to continue to build up his probes, get his economy going. We're seeing he's working on his base right now, got that 2 robotics facilities on the way. Some Colossi would be a great thing here. Also, maybe an Immortal or 2, kind of throw those in the mix. Very high damage units against the armored structures, such as the bunkers, and really anything the Terran player has here. Going to be counted as armored structure-wise. There are the medevacs here. The inclusion of these will actually add a lot to the Terran army, who you see actually may be going for some kind of a drop play. You see he's bringing in 4 medevacs. Only 1 of them is fully loaded, so plenty of healing that can be done. Looking at the Protoss army right now, we can see 76 to 63, so definitely Terran is ahead in terms of the supply. We can also see he's down just a little bit in terms of the worker count. Got an SCV going to be coming over here. Maybe, nope, not going to destroy those rocks. Just going to park that guy over there, hanging out, doing what SCVs do, just being ballers that they are. You see Weapons 1 is now complete for the Terran player. Meanwhile, up here you can see the Protoss. He's still just kind of building up, doing his own thing. He's sitting pretty comfortable right now. You know, he's got 3 bases, and I thought I saw red there for just a second, but no, it did not. Expansion over here looking pretty good. You see he's actually decided to go ahead and turn that into an orbital command. So he's probably wanting to end this rather soon-ish. Because, you know, this expansion's so far away, having a planetary fortress would be preferable, but this one over here, we'll actually wait and see what he's going to do with that. You know, the additional mules really help the Terran player push in and try to secure a victory, you know, getting that economic advantage compared to the Protoss right now, which you can see right now, Terran does have a clear income advantage for the minerals. He's got 2,300 compared to 1,200, or not despite, but compare that to the Harvesters, 57-57. You can see the gas discrepancy there, and here we go, folks. Going to have a Marine drop into the back of the Protoss base. You see it's Stem going to be looking to take out that Blink Stalker. Uh-oh, looks like the Twilight Council is going to be going down. Oh, wow. Good choice there indeed. One Marine sacrificed to allow the rest of the forces to evacuate for Satiini. Looking down here, we can see one proxy pylon still in play. As we do get ready to move towards the 15-minute mark, we can see two Colossi are in the field, also getting that extended thermal lance upgrade. And Terran, once again, going for the expansion. Looking at the income right now, you can see he is really just all about keeping the Protoss contained in his corner of the map. You can see that the workers are doing their thing over here, looking pretty good, trying to get that gas. Protoss obviously needs a ton of it in order to push out. The Colossi are just going to drain that down. And looking over here, we can see Terran just using that money to his advantage, keeping it down a good bit there. Did I see a Ghost Academy for a second there? I may have. Yes, I did. All right, there it is right there. EMP, always a great addition in Protoss versus Terran. Weapons 2 in the way, Armor 1, Extended Thermal Lance just about complete. You can see the full list of stuff going on right here. Just a ton of upgrades and units on the way for each player. Maybe Satiini is going to be going for another expansion here. I do not know. He is certainly expanding like a crazy man. You can see 68 to 61 right now. 2,400 to 1,700 mules definitely working for themselves. The ability to summon, he's got this one in orbital command. This one is one. This one. He's got 4 orbital commands right now. This one started. Let's see what he's going to do with this one. Indeed. Blink's about 50% complete. That'll help a decent bit. Now, there are a lot of Marauders here, so they'll be able to do a good bit of damage, especially if the Colossi happen to maneuver too close to the Terran army. You can see the Protoss player, aware of the fact that he could possibly face an attack, moving his forces out towards the central portion of the map. Also, the Colossi here, way out of position for the rest of the forces. One of them will be going down! Oh man, KroLu not happy about that, I am sure. Just completely wrong second to be there. If it just 2 seconds earlier, 2 seconds later, with the Protoss forces coming in, probably could have saved it, but good timing on that attack. KroLu sneaking in an observer there. Don't think Satiini is actually aware of its presence. Looking over here, we can see pretty much more upgrades coming for both players. I do like how he's slowing down the planetary fortress here. This is actually a pretty good idea. If he gets the, I think a high-sec auto-tracking, I think is the upgrade for that. Yeah. That'll upgrade the planetary fortress range from 6 to 7. Now, if you're playing and you decide to use this, and you're somehow able to keep a Protoss from getting the Colossus range upgrade, you know, with a lot of early aggression and consistent pressure, keep in mind the planetary fortress can outrange with an upgrade the Colossus that does not have an upgrade. So 7 compared to the Colossi 6, definitely something just to keep in mind there, a little trick. SCV's transferring over to both expansions here as Terran looks to move into the third base for the Protoss. Nice placement of these Zealots. They're going to delay the Terran forces. However, I think this expansion will fall. Protoss does not have anything that's actually able to stop these Marauders here. Probes continue to mine. Did not block them off, so sure enough, the Nexus does go down. KroLu immediately building it back up here once he realizes there are not enough Marauders to burst it back down before they die. Unfortunately, though, the probes are going to have to run around here. We can actually take a look at the impact after the fight. 54 to 44, 4750 to 6875 for the units lost. And the income, oh, the income, 62 to 82 now, a clear advantage for the Terran player. Harvesters, money, gas, you name it. He's sitting pretty darn good right now. So what is he going to be doing with all that gas? Well, we can take a look at it right here and see a whole bunch of Vikings. You can see he's also working on continuing to get those Marauders. Might expect to see some Ghosts here in the near future. Don't think he actually has any. No, he's got one. I'm sorry, he does have one Ghost somewhere in there. It was hiding just a little mosh pit of Marauders there. Mosh Rauder, I'm not going to try for that. But now we're seeing the Protoss player decide to go ahead and try to engage this command center. Where you see right now, having a planetary fortress against this, yeah, alright. So we really wouldn't be able to hold off, especially with the SCVs repairing, the Zealots running around. It just wouldn't have been enough damage from the Terran player to stop it. But, you know, all in all, still sitting pretty darn good. He has this one. Look how many mules he's able to summon, man. I mean, considering we're at the 20-minute mark in the game, he's done a pretty good job keeping his energy down on his orbital commands. All in all, pretty impressed so far. Now, KroLu looking to engage very Stalker heavy force. Blink, definitely something you want to take advantage of. Try to keep those Vikings off of, or the Vikings off of the Colossi there. We're seeing him actually start to warp in some reinforcements. Will it be enough, though? It definitely looks like it will be, as Protoss is looking to continue to push forward. He's successful in that attack, so why not try to bust forward and maybe claim the top of the ramp there. Having the bunkers up here for reinforcements will give the Terran player a nice place to fall back to. The question is, will he have units to fall back with? So far, KroLu is looking to continue to push forward, and having that proxy pylon where it's at is going to give him some very quick and clear reinforcements. Now, looking at the upgrades right now, 2 and 2 for the Marauders, and 202 for the Stalkers. So that means, last Colossus has gone down, so this army is going to lose a lot of its firepower here. He is going to have to retreat. With those bunkers in place, he's just not going to be able to burst through that, especially with the SCVs being so very close. This bunker might actually go down, though. It might actually help if he recycles it. Will he? No, nope. Okay, well, that bunker is gone. You can actually recycle it while it's burning. You'll still get 100% of the money back for it. Probably just didn't realize that. Looking at the economy now, Terran, 3,500 minerals per minute, 960 gas compared, 7165 there for the harvester count. Units lost, we can see pretty good. Still a little bit, I would expect it to be a little bit wider, but all in all, Protoss has done a really good job staying in the game here, despite the fact that the Terran has such a huge economic advantage. Just holy mules, man. Just look at all those things. Running around all over the place. Mule Party. Should make that game for the Wii. I'm sure they have, or something similar to it. I don't know. Am I making a Mario Party reference? We'll just have to wait and see. KroLu looking to engage. Going to try to cut off these forces. You see a couple of them or a little bit farther behind. There's that blink. Able to pick off some more of those units here. Zealots actually charging in, getting some extra forces. I do like how the Zealots were changed and at least get one hit when they charge in there like that. Always annoying to have them charge and then just continue running because they can't catch up with the unit. So more Colossi in the way, more Marauders, more Stalkers. Got pretty much more of the same here coming down the line. Terran ship weapons level 1. Ooh, got to be able to make those Vikings a tiny bit more potent. We see here both players' economies sitting the quad-digit mark. What's going to happen here? One Zealot, and hey, one Zealot. Protoss looking to gauge this time. He does have a number of sentries. Some force fields here will do a good number, allowing the Zealots to get in nice and tight. One force field has gone down, however, not going to be enough. Looks like a little bit of a mismicro there by KroLu, placing that force field on that ledge. I'll say that's an honest mistake. I've done that a couple times myself. The terrain being what it is, it's a little bit annoying sometimes to have to deal with that. So we won't really count that against him here. But this one Zealot, man, look at this. 12 kills in this bad boy. Oh, man, he is just super proud of himself right now. Just rocking this expansion. Sure enough, KroLu's like, you know what? I bet that Zealot died. Oh, no, he did not. Gonna go down there and save him. Maybe take him back, give him a little party or something. I don't know. One drop coming over here from Satiini, trying to take out anything he can at this point. There's only a few forces in these drop ships, though, so not going to be super effective. Over here, the expansion going to be going down. Sure enough, Planetary Fortress not enough to stop this onslaught of Protoss onslaughtery. So KroLu right now sitting in a great position. You see, despite the fact the Terran player had all that income, he is definitely on par right now in terms of monetary income. Gas, still a bit of an advantage right there, but sure enough, here we go. Once again, Marauders trying to push. This time, Protoss has the high ground. Guardian Shield going down. Vikings doing anything they can here. The Stalkers are plenty in number, able to drive off. But look at this, man. The Colossus actually getting ahead of the Stalkers. There's the blink. I'm going to be able to save one of them right there. Looking at the units lost right now, we can see Terran has definitely lost a lot of resources here, folks. Look at that. Almost two-thirds there. These forces just kind of hanging out this little cliff. Like, this is the only safe spot on the map right now. And even that's in question. Is he going to actually be able to take out this Colossus here? No, he's just letting him die. Not loading him back up. Okay, well, we'll go with it here. Probably hoping that he would just be able to out DPS the Colossi. Not going to be the case, though. So he's going to have to get those medevacs here very soon, as Protoss looks to be going down, going to be taking out this expansion, which, surprisingly, Satiini hasn't really been messing with it too much until only recently. He was working on it a little bit, but usually this is the expansion you'll see sooner rather than later. Look at that one EMP landing right there, I think. And Protoss is going to continue to push forward there. Here, force field's going down, actually not running these units away this time. Uh-oh, Mule Party going to be coming over here trying to do anything that they can. We can save the army! Oh, wait, we don't have an attack, so we're just going to sit here and laugh as the army does. And there's the D. As Satiini, I guess, is a little bit upset about this attack, this game, responding with more awesome faces. So, oh, good job, noob. Well, that wasn't very nice. Oh well, it was still a pretty interesting game to watch there. Satiini with just a massive amount of everything. I mean, you saw how many command centers he had. Looking at the income right now, you can see just Protoss knocked out all but the most basic, and even that going to be gone in just a matter of moments. So that's going to be the game, folks. I do hope you enjoyed it. It was definitely an interesting game to watch. Terran falling to the might of the Protoss there, as I guess our last moment of the game will be one little... Oh, wow, that's a really loud waterfall there. It's a... You're not even moving. One Marauder getting smacked in the face with a Stalker Beam, and I'm out.